You think I need some help? Not the first one that's told me that I need help. Not the first one. Oh, smoker. I have yet to buy one of those. So convince me to buy one. Actually, don't, because I'm putting all my money into other things. But a smoker, that could be so fun and so delicious. So delicious. Hey, Lloyd, how's it going tonight? What's new? What's shaking? What's new, Lloyd? How we doing? Let's see what we got. Just throw some ships out here to replace my TC ships I've been using. And we'll see how this goes. All right, what events do I have to worry about today? Oh, wow. Everyone's got a smoker, apparently. Deli and Lloyd, you both have smokers. Color me jelly. Jealous. I'm not going to lie. A little jealous. $50 from Goodwill. Score. There you go, Deli. You found the deal of a lifetime right there, bud. Sort of, David. I did hit quite a few more of those, and I did get to the superior ranking. Maybe we'll just go over that. I can show you all what that looks like. Slow cooked meat. I just feel like Homer Simpson drooling over donuts right now, or when he got a smoker. Oh, just drooling over the slow cooked meat. So soft, so full of flavor. Oh, totally need. Oh, you're making me hungry. Yeah, it's pretty big here for sure. Working to auto grind the Reliant. Nice. Well, I did, was it yesterday or the day before? I was able to get my faction reputation up to superior. So probably the coolest thing about that is I was able to unlock like all these missions here. And I have tried to do more, but I'm just lazy, I guess. You've max augment? That's awesome. So I have been doing Warlord. I've heard, Deli, that the Nightmare is a challenge even for level 70 players using creative methods, probably buffs and whatnot, but to beat it. But I've been doing the Warlord, but I ran out of starts. I have enough for one start, so we can do that tonight. But essentially, I got to the 60 and just ran a bunch of those armadas. And for those who don't know, my understanding is that they're like the yellow hostile bosses. And those yellow hostile bosses, they do not act like hostiles. So if you have like the Voyager officers below deck who, let's look at it really quick. Yeah, I was talking with Archer, actually, Deli, and he's like, yeah, Deli kind of has to work on those. It's not easy. So if we look at, like, Harry Kim. So start around, morale, we know about that, but when fighting non-player hostiles or armadas. So if you're looking at those, you can't really hit these using these because it says hostiles below deck, right? So those officers will not work. So you have to kind of look at some of the officers. Yeah, I did watch that video too as well, Deli. I think that, you can go back to using... Oh, Janeway doesn't work? Interesting. Where's my Janeway? I want to see her ability again, see how it's worded. She's got to be further down. And I'm not going to do the sort. I'm too stubborn. There we go. So, see, her captain's ability says non-player hostile, so I wouldn't expect that to work. And see, that says hostiles too. But, yeah, crazy. So, it says hostile in there, so I wouldn't expect her to work either. Just talking about some of the augment stuff, bud. So, just to recap really quick for Steve, when you get to Superior in the new Augment update, Augment 2.0, it opens up these missions that you can do, that you can run. And these are, they give you a hostile boss, but the, you have to be careful because if you have an officer that says the word hostile in their like description for that ability, they won't work. So like the Voyager officers below deck will not work. So you can't trigger burning like from Neelix or Morale from Harry Kim or Balan Torres. She can't trigger a hull breach. So you've got to think, who can you put on the bridge, for example, that can trigger a hull breach? Well, you could think about Lorca, or you could think about Gorkon. Hull breach is really important for you doing extra damage, so that can be someone you can put on the bridge, one of those two officers. We can think about, if you talk about the hostiles that you're hitting, the ones it gave me were all explorers, but if we, let's see, I'm trying to think the best way to sort this to find them quickly, so you'll have to bear with me. But you have the Trinity officers. They call them, in the olden days, they call them the Trinity officers because they were like the Holy Trinity, right? There's three of them. Good for explorers, battleships, interceptors. One right here is Charvanek. Charvanek is at start combat, increases the armor piercing of the ship by whatever percent of the health crew on the ship. So if you're hitting a battleship, this is a good officer to have on the bridge, and you could use Charvanek if you happen to get one. I only got explorers, so I didn't go with Charvanek, obviously. It's interesting fun fact that I think when what's his name? Marcus. When Marcus first came out, I don't think his ability worked right. I think it didn't do shield piercing like he's supposed to, but he works now. So Marcus is great to have on the bridge for shield piercing. So for me, I went with, I'm trying to remember, I think what I ended up using was 5 of 11, Marcus, and then like Khan on my bridge, something like that. So you just have to be careful when you're hitting them that you're using the right crew on the bridge, and you avoid those officers that say hostile in their kind of in their description. So that's the main thing there. But they give a ton of experience, or not experience, a ton of rep if you beat one, at least for my level. And so what this ended up letting me do is it ended up letting me max basically and unlock Khan on day one. So I officially have Khan unlocked, and I was able to get to Joaquin. I was able to get him up to tier 3, I think it was. Let me check real quick. I think I got him up to tier 3, which was pretty awesome. Oops, don't want to go back to the factions. So let's go look at officers. So I'm obviously still working on it, and I didn't do as much grinding to be able to do more. So that's always going to be a bottleneck, and one benefit of the Reliant is that you don't need to do as much of the grinding for the items to start those. So I got him to 3, but I don't have enough of these affinity points, which you can get from turning in more of the missions, basically. So basically, the loot that you get from hitting the hostiles in the new augment space, you use that to purchase the missions over and over and over again. And you want to kind of test yourself and see which one you can do the best at. So anyways, push yourself. See what you can take out. I wasn't able to do more than you know. I didn't even try Nightmare. I was talking to Archer from Pike, and he's like, "Yeah, don't even try it. Deli can beat him." But I was like, "Okay, we'll stick with Warlord for now." All right, so I'm looking back at chat. I just want to cover all of that. We'll cover some questions and we'll look into it. But really awesome sourcing, in my opinion, for day one. Now, getting his skill points is another story. So we'll have to see about that. Use Janeway, Anorax, and 5 of 11. David, I would love to hear from you if Janeway works. I've heard Janeway doesn't, and her ability says hostile, so I'm thinking she probably won't work on those. Marcus, Zhao. Zhao is a great officer that people may have forgotten about, honestly. But he gives, I think, some pretty good mitigation stats. And let's look at him. As long as the ship has morale, so I guess Marcus would be triggering morale. Yep. I've kind of forgotten about that because I haven't used Marcus a ton for ages and ages. So armor deflection dodges ship by 300% of the defense. So that's great. That's great. So, yep, Zhao's a good option as well. I like that. You ran Khan, Gigi, and Tal on your cube. Oh, that's right. I forgot about Tal, and I forgot you sent that to me. I think you sent that to me before, didn't you, Deli? So, yeah, Gigi to trigger the burning. And Tal. Tal's a good option because he takes, I guess, burning to trigger, right? I'd almost forgotten about him. So, good option to use. So, don't forget about Tal, everyone. Reliant Tier 3 upgrading, a lot of upgrades. Yeah, it's probably, I've heard it's a difficult ship to upgrade, so. Mike is using Bones, Kirk, and Khan. I have to remember because I haven't used OG Bones in like forever. Where would Bones be? Let's sort by group, shall we? And see what we can find. Hopefully he's near the top. There we go. So he's given a bonus to the abilities of the officers on the bridge during combat. Okay. Yeah, Bones can help. And one thing I think having Kirk on the bridge is he's triggering morale. So that can help with... I'm trying to think here. Kirk should help with triggering some of your... Depending on the ship you're using, I guess. But he should trigger some of the like artifacts and bonuses you get from the... what you call it. Let's go here. The Nova building, I think. Yeah, Nova Squadron building. But there's also, and I haven't maxed this one. Was it a Kirk ability? Which one was it? I want to say there was an ability here that gave you extra damage to hostiles with morale. Oh, there we go. This is the one I was thinking of. So I've only gotten this one to level 4, but while your ships have morale, they gain critical damage. So not a huge percentage, but I mean, it can help you add extra critical damage. So if you're popping criticals, that can be helpful. So Nightmare are G6 epics only, everyone. Keep that in mind when you're doing these. So for me, Lloyd, I got Explorers. So I was doing like a 5 of 11 for mitigation as the captain. And then who did I have? I had Khan on the side and Marcus for the shield piercing against Explorers. Deli reminded us that we can use Tal. So he was using Khan, Gigi, and Tal on his cube. So cube, battleship, burning, that kind of makes sense. But I'd have to test with Tal to see how well that works. But that is definitely worth trying. So, oh, David, you are auto-grinding reputation. Awesome. Yeah. That's probably another benefit is getting that reputation gain. I think probably the greatest benefit is taking it. I don't know how much you're able to get overnight with a lower tiered ship. It's going to take a while before you can drop it into a higher level system, I suppose. But morale activates the prime that gives you more isolate damage just for having morale. Which I probably don't have that prime, but which prime is that, Deli? That would be useful just to share with everyone. Because I don't remember a prime that's based upon morale. That's interesting. Is it in the combat tree? It's probably one I don't have. So there's ISO. I think that's just a flat percentage there. Nothing could take us down. But yeah, if you have one, if you have that prime, that's something that would be good to keep in mind to increase your, because it's isolytic. So that's pretty awesome. I don't know if it's a combat tree. If you know, feel free to share with us, Dad. I'd love you sharing the knowledge, my friend.